Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keep on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Who is this?
Big Bucket.
Big Bucket. Let's go ahead and get this party started, Bears fans.
Walter Payton, it's the man.
Finds Cole Kmet wide open. Touchdown, Bears.
Let me put it on again. Keep it on fire. I love it. I could probably beat him in the 40. Let's freaking go, Chicago Bears fans. Breaking news out of Chicago.
I think I can fit in as like a water boy for the Panthers or something. I'm not talking about get on the field,
Put it right behind me so every time I'm on the podcast, like, you got Isaiah Fry's jersey? Hell yeah, I do.
Let's go.
You got on with the Bears organization. You got high up. Would I be like a water boy for you or something? What's going on? What role am I? Comment bear down if you love Keek on the Mic and if you love the Chicago Bears.
Who is this?
Georgia's house.
And as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You can go and subscribe cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic.
What is going on, Chicago Bears fans? Once again, not sure why it's doing it. There we go. What is going on, Chicago Bears fans? We have some more breaking news right here with the Chicago Bears. Right when I hopped off, Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are not done as they sign former Pro Bowler defensive tackle GRADY JARRETT to a 3-year, $43.5 million deal. And once again, that is not the right guarantee. I was just kind of in a rush getting on the podcast with a $28.5 million, fully of that guaranteed. This is a huge development for the Chicago Bears and a big time player that the Chicago Bears just added to this football team. We just got done talking about how the Bears signed Dayo Odeyingbo to that massive contract to add to their edge rushing room. But now they continue to build the trenches with defensive tackle GRADY JARRETT. The Atlanta Falcons literally just released GRADY JARRETT just the other day, and he finds a home fast here in Chicago, and this is a huge signing. He is 31 years old. He is coming off an injury that cost him the final 9 games of 2024, but even at 31, this guy still has a lot left in the tank. It's going to be a big time addition to the Chicago Bears defensive line. In the snaps that he did play last season, right? He had 4 sacks, 21 quarterback hurries, 9 quarterback hits, 34 total pressures, and once again, just a big time player for the Chicago Bears. So when you look at the Bears offseason additions, once again, they made a huge emphasis on building the trenches, trading for guard Joe Thuney, trading for guard Jonah Jackson, signing Drew Dahlman earlier this morning, then signing defensive lineman Dayo Odeyingbo, edge rusher from the Indianapolis Colts, and then signing defensive tackle GRADY JARRETT to this massive 3-year, $43.5 million contract with $28.5 million of that guaranteed. Bears fans, first and foremost, give me your initial reaction to this news of GRADY JARRETT in the comment section. Once again, you look at what the Bears have been able to do in the trenches, and now this thing is wide open for the Chicago Bears to do whatever they want in the NFL draft. If they want to go offensive lineman, they can. If they want to add another defensive lineman, they can. If they want to add a running back in the first round, they can. If they want to trade down, they can. Ryan Poles has set up the Chicago Bears for success. And even at 31, this is a huge signing for the Chicago Bears and this Bears defensive line. You now look at this Bears defensive line and what it can be, right? You have Dayo Odeyingbo on one end. Then you have GRADY JARRETT and Javon Dexter and Andrew Billings kind of rotating in that middle of the interior of this defensive line. And then, of course, Montez Sweat. On the back end, of course, you have guys like Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon. You have TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, and all this. Now you think about the possibility what this Bears defense can actually be with new Bears defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, with having that big Pro Bowl defensive tackle Grady Jarrett in the middle with Javon Dexter, the young guy, this can cause a lot of problems in the National Football League for years to come. And here's the thing, the Chicago Bears can still invest in another defensive tackle to allow them to develop the right way behind Grady Jarrett. To me, this is a huge move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. This move definitely gets me more excited compared to the Dayo Odeyingbo move that we just made a couple of minutes ago. Once again, Grady Jarrett has an outstanding track record in the National Football League, still only 31 years old. Once again, still coming off that injury, but he should bounce back just fine and be a huge addition to the Chicago Bears defensive line. So once again, let's go ahead and go in the chat. Keep it coming, my dude. FGB, bear down. Yes, the Bears making a whole lot of moves. Someone said, yo, where are we getting all this bread from? I have no clue, but we're absolutely cooking. Someone said, Keek, Poles won't let you rest. Absolutely not. I keep hopping off and then more news, right? This one shocked me. We had no clue that this was going to happen. Someone said, bruh, LOL. And keep going through the comment section. I feel better about this move. Absolutely. Young Zell in the chat says, oh, snap, the Bears are cooking. Someone says, we got Atlanta best O-line player and best D-line player. Absolutely. I think it was more of a cap-saving move for the Atlanta Falcons. You know, I believe they saved like $16 million by releasing them. Doesn't mean he wasn't a good player, right? Grady Jarrett is still a good player in his own right, and this is going to be a huge upgrade on the interior of this offensive line. Terrence Wilson says, let's go. Big Cheese once again says, we're going tight end and running back with our first two picks now. We have options. Absolutely, right? Kiata Quinley, my Papa Bears in the chat says, it's looking like a running back in the draft. Let's go. Bear down to you as well. Once again, a lot of people are saying awesome news. Yeah, this is huge, Bears fans. This move definitely got me excited. You just look at Grady Jarrett and his past and his track record, right? Obviously, he dealt with some injuries last year, but even in 2023, right? Just always a really good player for the Atlanta Falcons. More on Grady Jarrett as we dive into his stats, right? Staying at 6 foot. I think it's about like 290 pounds. Yeah, 290 pounds for Grady Jarrett, but just has been a mainstay. Played his whole career with the Atlanta Falcons and has had some really good years, right? Not only as a run defender, but bringing that interior pressure on the interior as well. Has amassed 36.5 career sacks, 496 combined tackles, 229 assisted tackles. Just has been a very good player for Atlanta Falcons. And now, once again, we shift our focus to what Ryan Poles and the Bears can do now in the NFL draft, right? Just being aggressive, building the trenches the right way. We talked about how you win and lose in the trenches. This is exactly what Ryan Poles is doing. So now we look into the draft. You look at some options. Could Tyler Warren, the tight end, be an option? Can Ashton Jeanty be an option? Can we trade back and get a Marion Hampton from UNC? Are we still going to go? Are we still going to go offensive line or defensive line or edge rusher? No one knows at this point what Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are now going to do in the NFL draft. Someone wants to know what the injury was for Grady Jarrett. I did just have it up, just so you guys are aware of what he was dealing with. He had torn an anterior ligament. So I believe he should be okay. He sat out the final 9 games, and of course he had all offseason to recover. So he will be back and ready to go to make a major impact on the Chicago Bears defensive line. Raging Oracle says, man, I was pissed. Now things make sense. LOL. Yeah. So now you get a very young guy and Dayo Odeyingbo, and now you get Grady Jarrett to really overhaul your defensive line. And it's not like the Bears defense is a bunch of scrubs, right? You still have Montez Sweat. You still have Javon Dexter. Andrew Billings coming back from injury. You still have those really good linebackers. You still have a really good young secondary as well. Obviously not including Kevin Byard, but still a really good young secondary. This Bears defense is loaded with talent for Dennis Allen to really take this defense to the next level, and obviously getting a defensive tackle, a true 3 technique like Grady Jarrett is going to be special, man. This is scary hours in Chicago. This really gets me pumped up. when I saw the news, I was like, are you serious? Grady freaking Jarrett? Grady freaking Jarrett, guys. It's amazing what Ryan Poles has been able to accomplish over these last couple of days. Think about it. In the past 10 days, being able to land Joe Tooney, Grady Jarrett, Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman, Dio Odangbo. It's just a massive overhaul in the trenches. Now, this puts in perspective that this Chicago Bears team with first-year head coach is trying to win right now. They are trying to win right now. They are not playing absolutely no games. Once again, going back to Grady Jarrett a little bit more, he's an elite 3 technique, that can really take this Bears defensive line to the next level. I know that Dennis Allen is probably grinning from ear to ear right now. And once again, this had nothing to do with his talent. It was a cap casualty. It was one of those tough moves that the Atlanta Falcons had to make. And now we move on with this new revamped defensive line. So once again, I appreciate you guys. Go ahead and give me your grade for this signing. I give this A plus, probably even damn near A plus, Bears fans. This is a big move for Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears. So once again, you look at just going back to his Atlanta Falcons days real quick. He was, and this is according to the PFF, he was number 15 in franchise history in games with 152, number 10 in sacks with 36.5, number 3 in tackles for loss with 77, number 1 in quarterback hits with 126, along with 6 years as a captain. So he had a pretty incredible run as a 2015 fifth-round pick, was a mainstay in Atlanta. Now he's going to bring that experience and that leadership to the Chicago Bears and this defensive line. It's a great day to be a Bears fan. Someone says A plus for the 3 technique. It says Dio gets a B minus. Someone says, got to take it easy, folks. Most of these signings are of old players, Tooney and Jarrett. They need to double down in the draft on more. Yeah, I totally agree. You totally agree. The Bears, just because they get Grady Jarrett and Joe Tooney, these are both old guys, right? But these are guys that still have some years left in them as well. It shows that the Bears are serious to win right now, but they're also understanding that they still need to go into this NFL draft and absolutely draft, young guys as well, to not only complement them right now, but when these guys do decide to retire, they're able to fit right in and fill those shoes when these guys do finally hang up those cleats. So I definitely agree with that. Yeah, definitely a really, really good signing, man. And once again, make sure you do me a favor by hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. We're on the road to 16,000 subscribers. Someone says Tooney is not old. I don't think he's 32. He's about to be 33. He's good. Online players can play well into their 30s, sometimes even into their 40s. I'm not worried about Joe Tooney. Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle, sometimes they play a little bit less, right? He's 31. Coming off an injury, but I still think he has some good football left in him, right? Some really, really good football left in him. This move gets me really, really excited, Bears fans. Grady Jarrett, 3 years, $43.5 million, $28.5 million guaranteed. I give this move an A plus. I'm not even gonna lie to you. A plus for me, for sure. It was definitely a need on this roster. Now the Bears can go in there and maybe not feel pressured to use their first round pick on an offensive lineman or defensive lineman if they don't want to. Right? If they want to take a tight end now, they can take a tight end. If they want to take a running back, take a running back. If they want to trade down and continue to add more picks with more youth at maybe the offensive line, defensive line positions, they can do that, right? Because what they have done in the last 10 days in free agency. So some big moves by Ryan Poles. But once again, Bears fans, I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. We had 205 people pop into this chat last minute. But once again, Bears signed Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle, to 3 years, $43.5 million with $28.5 million guaranteed. Raphael says, do you feel like we will resign some of our own players now? Yeah, absolutely. They've already kind of done that, right, with some players here and there. Like Josh Blackwell got a nice extension as our special teams ace. I know a lot of Bears fans want Jack Sanborn back, so hopefully we can get that done. Kyler Gordon is deserving of a contract extension. So I think the Chicago Bears may be done. They made 3 big moves via free agency. And of course, 2 big trades to really upgrade the trenches. But once again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Love every single one of you guys for all the support you guys continue to show the channel. And as always to you guys, bear down.